Hi guys, it's Thomas here from COTBase.com. Welcome to our weekly COT review. Today we're going to be analyzing the 38th COT report of 2021, and as we always do, we shall start off by looking at the largest changes in commercials positions. But before I jump into the review, just a reminder for those of you who are new to COT analysis, here at COTBase.com, we offer a lot of educational material, not only in written format, but we have some very useful videos as well. So you better understand what the Commitments of Traders report is all about, how you can analyze it, and all that. Really a lot of very useful educational material at your disposal. Okay, back to the review, and starting off with our first market, cotton, where we have a 36% change in commercials positions. Of course, this change is based on a 52 weeks look back period, and you can see that change magnitude over there being much larger than average. It suggests we can see the continuation of this strength that we witnessed this week in the cotton market. I would say that it's better to get such a bullish COT change signal after we see a bit of a decline. I could be wrong, but it may be that this signal is just a little bit late for us to act upon. But by judging by the dynamics of this move in the market, we may expect this to continue on in the next few days. At least the COT change signal suggests that. Of course, it's a short-term signal. But if we jump to the 5 years chart, we get to analyze the COT Extreme, which, as you may see, is actually showing a different picture. So even though we moved away from that level for commercials, also for large speculators, we are still much closer to bearish COT Extreme levels. So, I mean, if this COT change signal has the strength and ability to push the market higher above this resistance zone, we may see the market head higher, and as it does, I would expect traders to shift their positions accordingly, meaning commercials, of course, they're represented with the red line over here on the chart, would start adding to their net short positions, and we may get closer, towards the 200,000 contracts net short mark, which, of course, at COTBase.com, you can easily check and see whether that has ever happened, and you may, find that it was actually never achieved. So we'll see, but you can more or less see what those extremes were in the past. You can see from 2017, 2018. Again, 2018. These were very large bearish extremes in the market. We are close to those levels right now, so I wouldn't be too excited about this bullish COT change signal having any effect in the longer term picture. Okay, moving on to the Euro-Japanese Yen pair. Here we have a 35% change in commercials positions, which is large. We are talking about a currency, but then again, keep in mind that this is a relatively new market with not that much of a history in the COT data. But anyways, this is, well, if you look at the chart, we are, of course, looking at a 1 year time frame. This is the largest change, no question about that, suggesting further strength coming in the next few days. Again, similarly to the cotton market, we have already witnessed a move in the direction of the signal. Okay, so that's something you should keep in mind. Here's the max chart. We started getting data on this market in 2017, so really a new market for COT analysis. And of course, there are periods in the time when there's absolutely no change in the data, and that's because we are talking about a small market. So if you're trading the Euro-Japanese Yen pair, I would advise you to have a look at the Euro market separately, analyze that from the Commitments of Traders report perspective, and then go on and do the same for the Japanese yen. And of course, then you can easily see which one is stronger, which one's weaker, and then you can make a decision. Nevertheless, this is available to you as well. Okay, precious metal silver, one of my favorite markets. Here we have a 25% change in commercials positions, but I do see larger extremes as well. Going back to the 1 year chart, so here we go. That's the change size. It's definitely greater than average. I would say it's amongst, let's say, the top 5 or top 8 changes in the past 1 year. So it is pretty large. It suggests that we should see a bounce back upward in the market. And if we move on to the 5 years chart, we can see that this 118 report extreme that can be witnessed in large speculators and also in commercials positions, roughly we were there about 2 years ago, is actually pretty large. We have seen, of course, much greater bullish extremes. What a beautiful example from 2019, May of 2019, just at that bottom over there. And of course, we can find multiple examples for successful bullish COT extremes in this market. So it is there. I'm not saying, I wouldn't be surprised to see silver go a little bit further down. And as that happens, we would see an increase in the bullish extreme of this signal. Maybe not reaching all-time levels. We'll see. We don't always have to expect that to happen before a major shift in the trend. Now, then again, what's the trend? Well, I think what we can definitely say is that since August of last year, silver was unable to, pass the $30 mark, and now we can see significant weakness in the market. So, it's good to keep in mind that that traders of this market are shifting their positions accordingly, and it's easy to analyze that this is more of a bullish COT extreme picture that's becoming more and more true as we go further downwards in the price of silver. Okay, moving on to large speculator COT extreme. We've got the Australian dollar on top of our list with an all-time COT extreme. Huge. It's always exciting to see that all-time signal, which of course means that in the entire COT history of Australian dollar, we have never seen large speculators holding such great net short positions. Okay, so exactly 87,163 report. That's where they are right now. Okay. What did I say? Did I say report? I'm so sorry. Contracts. My apologies. So, over 80,000 contracts net short. That's where they are at right now. Huge bullish COT extreme. And for me, the only surprising part is that we are not at those lows. So it does suggest that there's significant bullish stresses in this market, and we should expect the continuation of the rally that's been going on in this market since, of course, March of last year. Okay, another metal, palladium, with an all-time COT extreme, not only in large speculators positions, but also in commercials. So commercials are net long, which on this 5 year chart, you can barely find at maybe just one occasion. We can actually look at the entire COT history, and you really got to go back to like 2002 to find commercials in net long territory, or I can say the opposite, seeing large speculators in net short. Okay, so that is very significant, and this suggests that we should expect the market to turn around, and we can easily see much greater prices coming. But then again, these all-time COT extreme can easily be there in front of you for many weeks before we see the market reacting to that signal. Okay, so that's just a reminder. And then again, don't forget, these metals do correlate with each other, so it would be nice to see other metals at such extremes. Well, we saw a bit of a bullish extreme in silver, but gold, platinum, if they can follow, that would be even nicer. Well, silver we talked about, so we're going to close off this COT review with the dollar index. Here we have a 96 report extreme in large speculators. As you can see, the red color shows that this is a bearish COT extreme signal. Now, you can examine how significant this is, and it's easily done if you look at this horizontal line and compare that to the past and what happened in those levels. Well, I should say that I think this isn't the extreme level that I'd be so excited about. It's good to see it's there, but we can, opening a 10 years chart, you can definitely see much nicer examples then. So, something like that starting from a bullish COT Extreme back over here in 2014. As the market, starts rallying, we see a sudden change in traders' positions, signaling the top. We don't see a huge shift in the trend, but it did halt this rally and push the market a bit lower. So are we there yet? Well, this 10 years chart shows us that we can easily get to even greater extremes, bearish COT extremes, before the market starts to top out, Okay. That's going to be all for this review, but don't forget that here at cotbase.com, we offer all the market categories that are available. I only show you a few in these reviews. There are other data sets that you might want to analyze. We have the entire data set from the Commodity Futures Trading Commission. The newest COT report types are available, and all the data types. Just so you know, futures only and futures and options is the data that you can access at CFTC, but we actually created the options only data, which I think is very, very special and useful. You can dig deep in your analysis by looking, let's say, at multiple report changes. So you can actually change the one report compared to a look back period. You can actually add reports together and see how that works on a predefined look back period. Doesn't have to be 52 weeks. You can actually set that to anything. You can of course chart that value. Same with the COT extremes. COT index can be added to your chart, the move index. We have the long-term trend indicator, which I think is a very useful tool. And it's always good to look at analyzing the COT report is, I think, very good combined with volume and open interest analysis. So we figured we're just going to put that into the service. And by the way, if you're somebody trading a specific market, let's say the Australian dollar, we talked about that today, you can easily find all the data available on the Australian dollar by choosing it from the left side panel over here. And there you go, futures only, futures and options only data, everything, all the data set in one. And anything that you're interested in, just click on it. You can chart it. You can download the data. There's all sorts of ways to analyze it and really go deep as much as you want. And by the way, this is of course the website, but if you're somebody who uses NinjaTrader, we have the COT Base Pro indicator that is available on NinjaTrader, and you can basically get everything that you see on the website, but you have further settings abilities and use it on your own chart. So I think that's something very unique. But maybe even more unique and useful is the COT Base iCOT intraday indicator, which I think is a lovely tool for those of you who trade in a more shorter time period, because this is actually not the COT data that comes from CFTC. This is our own data. We worked many years to construct this indicator to help those who trade in a more shorter time frame. But the whole theory is based on COT analysis, as you may see these charts. There are plenty of example charts, explanation charts for you, so you better understand how you can benefit from this wonderful indicator. So, and of course, we're always working on new developments, so we will always have wonderful tools for you. Thank you so much for being with me in this COT review. I appreciate your attention, and I wish to see you in my next review. Take care. Goodbye.